So the United States has swung to the right, with Republicans honing in on full control of the White House, Senate and House of Representatives.
So I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
Donald Trump pulled off what many thought was unthinkable, a resounding election win 4 years after he was voted out of office. At 78, he'll be the oldest person to be elected president. And he's promising a golden age for the US after a bitter election campaign. The Democrats have conceded defeat, with Kamala Harris thanking her supporters.
The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for. But hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up and as long as we keep fighting.
Despite a campaign message of hope and a pledge to end the chaos, the Democrats failed to gain ground across the country after President Joe Biden withdrew from the race in July and Ms Harris took over as a candidate. Donald Trump not only managed to mobilise his base, he picked up support, particularly among Hispanic and younger voters. Some students in the swing state of Pennsylvania are surprised at the result.
I noticed how a lot of people were coming out to vote, but I didn't think that it was going to be so in favour of Trump. And I feel like it's like the young man vote that Trump won.
I was very shocked. I was very confident that Kamala and Walz would win, but I guess our country is more uneducated than I thought.
I think the economy was the biggest reason as to why he won. I think a lot of the other issues kind of fell to the side, especially in PA, fracking, abortion, some of these things that are important to a lot of people, even immigration. I think the economy was the number one thing that propelled him to win the election.
And this is the third time Donald Trump has run for office. He was first elected in 2016. Strategists are putting his success down to a campaign that focused on the economic issues affecting voters right across the country.
Harris and Democrats around the country spent about 80% of their time talking about abortion rights. And, clearly that was a driving and polarizing issue that impacted a lot of voters. But when you step back at the end of the day, far less than 1% of American voters are ever going to have to deal with abortion directly or indirectly. All voters have to deal with inflation, gas prices, home energy prices, less take-home pay.
Donald Trump will be inaugurated on January the 20th. Later this month, he's due to be sentenced by a New York judge after being convicted in a criminal case over a hush money payment made to a porn star. Whether that happens remains to be seen. The two other federal cases against him are now unlikely to proceed, with special counsel Jack Smith expected to wind down those matters, given Mr Trump's re-election.
We're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly.
Despite that pledge, Donald Trump has his sceptics. The Republican candidate has promised to deport illegal immigrants on a large scale, end the war in Ukraine and bring peace to the Middle East. He's also vowed to fight what he describes as the enemy within. Those promises have some voters worried about Trump 2.0.
How do you facilitate mass deportations? Those kinds of things. So, in my mind, if I woke up this morning and I was an immigrant, I'd be very worried.
People are just very disappointing, and a lot of our liberties are going to be taken away, and a lot of our rights, especially for women. And I think we're acting like drunk people. We take one step forward and 10 steps back.
This election was lost months ago when people didn't register or didn't have the information or have access to good information. So, it's all of us. It's not just Trump, it's everyone.